Hello there, and welcome to Super Mario World Unplugged. We're here to make our first tutorial episode of how to make a TAS. I'm Jtty, and my co-host here is...
Raffle Ticket 01 speaking.
And we're here to show you, for this first episode, how to prepare your emulator and whatnot. Yeah. So, our first thing would be our preferred emulator, which would be SNES 9X.
Now, note there are a few different versions of SNES 9X. 1.43 emulates lag the least, so basically that's the best one if you want to go for a speed run of the actual game itself, trying to set world record on it. Whereas 1.51 and 1.53 actually emulate ASM better, so such as 1.43, it can't play VIP5. 1.51, it can.
That's just due to if the person's hack you're playing has special things in it that make things change or work differently. What? No. Shut up. Okay. Well, speaking of hacks, here on SMWCentral.net also has a hack section. By the way, yeah, we are on Super Mario World Central. That's where you can find this emulator, as well as many hacks you want to play. So you can just pick any one of these, doesn't really matter. And there's a featured hacks and a hacks section. And then if you get a hack from here, you have to have IPS Win or Lunar IPS
or Lunar Magic
or the newest version of Lunar Magic, and it will let you take their IPS files and turn them into .smw files, right? Or SMC?
.smc.
And that will let you play them on your emulator.
And also another note, you're also going to need to have a clean ROM to play through that. I'm not going to give out a link to that. You guys are going to have to leave it up to Google because it's not technically legal.
What he means by that is you have to have a clean version of Super Mario World or it will not work. So,
at all.
Moving right along, we have now downloaded SNES 9X. I didn't really download it, I already had it. But here we have it. Here's your Super Mario World, and what you want to do is come up here to Tools, and there's this thing called RAMwatch. You click it, and this will appear. And
actually,
it will be blank. It will be blank. And what you need to do is add several of these. We'll list these in the description, these addresses. And
actually, no. Just have a link to the actual file.
Oh yeah, I guess we'll post the link to the file that you can open. And these are all the important RAM addresses that you will need. And I will turn it over to Raffle Ticket to explain these, since I don't know what all of them mean.
Okay, well, some of them are pretty simple. Some of them are a bit more advanced. Such as X speed. Basically, it's an unsigned value, meaning that it goes into positive and negative. I do believe that's true. If I'm wrong, well, it's signed. Basically, positive numbers mean you're moving to the right. Negative means you're moving to the left. That's pretty much it for X speed. Next down on the list is...
for X speed, the maximum... Well, I guess we can get in that later. Never mind.
Maximum is 128, but that should be tied in with the first tutorial video.
We'll deal with that later. I was jumping ahead of myself. All right.
And next down on the list, we have player X subspeed. That's basically called a subpixel. What that is just parts per pixel. There are 16 total. In every block, there are 16 pixels, so do the math, and that's how many subpixels there are per block. Every speed is determined by your subspeed, such as an X speed of 35 means you are moving 35 subpixels per frame.
Go away. Sorry, something keeps popping up on me. I don't know what it is. Keep going.
Anyway, moving on down the list, we have player Y speed. That basically is just if your player is moving up or down. That is measured in negatives if you're moving up and positives if you're moving down. By default, the player, when he's standing still, is about Y speed of 6. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but that's just how it is. Something I've learned to work around. Moving along down the list, we have player X position. That is basically measurement left or right from the beginning of the level, such as the first possible area you could be in a level would probably be 0, 0.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check that. I have my emulator open. I just died by accident. Woohoo. Alright, the furthest over you could be in a level with the proper settings, such as there are no extra sprites that let you walk off the edge of the level. The furthest over you could be is a position of 8.
Alright.
So
next one is
player Y position. That's basically a measurement of your up and down position from the top of the level. I do believe the highest you could go is -128, which is above the screen. You can't see Mario above that.
That makes some things interesting if you're trying to work up there.
But you can't place blocks up there in Lunar Magic, so there's not too much to work around with up there. Moving down, there is player X subpixel. I mixed that up with subspeed. Okay, we might need to redo some of this.
Well, I'll explain that. Okay, basically pretend what he said for X subspeed was said for X subpixel.
Subspeed is actually basically what it is it adds a subpixel every 2 frames you play the game. Just it's intended for more random playthroughs of the game. It's just another stupid thing Nintendo felt the urge to add.
So
sorry,
basically a refresher, X pixel is there's 16 subpixels on each little block, and it will tell you which one you're on. Same with Y subpixel, but it's going up and down.
Yeah, Y subpixel isn't used for much anything in the game. If you're maybe you could try to catch the ceiling. That is technically possible to hit the block in the ceiling if you're going fast enough upwards. There's no practical use for that at all that I can think of. I've never.
Oh, well then, next
Not
thing.
at all. Mario's direction. That's a very easy one to understand. It's basically if you're facing left, it's 0. If you're facing right, it's 1.
Well, that was easy.
Yep.
Next, P meter.
P meter. No. A lot of people might assume this is for a P switch. It's not. This is basically similar to the Mario Bros. 3 style P meter. Basically, it goes from increments from 0 to 112. 112 means that your running speed, which means your speed increases by maybe 10 or so. Maybe 12 subpixels. Fastest speed you could go would be 49 speed without a cape.
And next would be takeoff meter.
Takeoff. That is used for flying, basically. That's all there is to that.
Self-explanatory.
Such as, not exactly. If you let go of X or Y when you still have takeoff meter and then re-press the input again, you could start flying again, even if you've let it go completely, so long as you have some takeoff meter.
Interesting. Next is hurt timer.
And basically that's just counting your invincibility frames, all that fun stuff. Normally you don't get hurt in hacks because that slows down your time tremendously.
But if you're playing something like Kaizo and you're trying to take a hit so you can dodge more hits, then that's what it's for. Yeah,
pretty useful. Loop how timer, kind of self-explanatory. Once it's down to 0, it's completely out. There's not too much else to explain other than that. Same with Silver Pow. Then below that you have score. Notice how your score in Super Mario World always ends in 0. It's actually, the 0 is just graphics displayed. It doesn't have anything to do with code at all. So.
And then there's the door exit counter.
Door exit counter. That could be used for a variety of things. The most notable for that in code, especially with this one, it goes from a value of 0 through FF, or 0 through 255. And 0 means you enter a level. It loops back around to 0 once you get to 250, well, what would be your 256th exit. And wherever your exit XY position tells you to go, it's going to save that, but it's going to bring you back to your original level destination.
Basically, if you go through a door 256 times, it'll teleport you
to a completely new location.
And that's it for the RAMwatch. And now, just sort of a thing here, we have a website for Super Mario World Unplugged. It's a forums. Come join. It was a very generous donation. I guess you can call it a donation. Here it is. Come join up. It's really nice looking so far. And
still good work to be done on it, but
yes. And you can ask us questions here. You can message us on YouTube. You can basically comment as well. But I mean,
you can like us on Facebook.
Oh yes, there's a Facebook. Let's go there. Or let's not go there. Let's go there.
Oh.
Okay. And here's our Facebook page. So, obviously, everybody who hacks loves SNES 9X. 4 votes. Look at that. And some weird dude bungee jumping. Don't know who that is. Okay. But, so, just a refresher. SMWCentral.net is where you'd go for a lot of these things. A lot of the tools you need. You can also go to TASvideos.com or org.
.org.
TASvideos.org, and they have a lot of the tools. And a link in the description will lead you to this these RAMwatch addresses. So, stay tuned for next time. I know this was a boring tutorial, but it's very much needed, and these will definitely save you everything. Everything. And next time, we'll begin teaching you how to actually
start your movie up and
start it up,
learn,
and start going through it. So,
yep.
With that, I'm Jtty.
And I'm Z-Raffle.
And this is Super Mario World Unplugged.